You might wake up one morning feeling just a bit off, your energy lower, your clothes tighter around the waist, your mind less sharp than it used to be. You may have dismissed it as just aging, feeling heavier or stress, but inside your body, a much more serious change could be quietly happening: fatty liver disease. It's not painful at first and often produces no symptoms, which is exactly why it can become so dangerous. Yet here's the most hopeful part. New clinical research shows that certain changes in your daily eating and rest routine can begin reducing liver fat in as little as 3 days. Not with drugs, not with months of strict dieting, just with foods and habits that help your body heal naturally, starting now. What is happening inside you when fatty liver sets in is metabolic imbalance. Your liver begins storing fat instead of burning it. It becomes sluggish, inflamed, and less efficient. Over time, that can lead to insulin resistance, elevated blood sugar, high cholesterol, even cirrhosis or organ damage. But science shows something powerful. The liver is incredibly responsive to food. It can begin clearing fat quickly when you provide the right nutrients, and when that happens, your energy improves, your insulin sensitivity rises, and inflammation falls. You begin to feel lighter, mentally clearer, and more alive. And the most exciting part is that this turnaround can start within 3 days. I'm Dr. William Lee, and I've studied the science of how foods heal us. I've seen thousands of people recover from fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and more, not by relying on pills alone, but by changing how they feed their bodies. And what I've learned is this: even after the age of 60, even if you've been living with years of poor habits, your liver still wants to heal. Your body still wants to burn fat and restore balance. What it needs is smart, supportive nutrition and simple habits that activate your natural healing systems. In this video, we're going to explore the breakthrough research that shows why the first 3 days of recovery are so powerful. We'll look at the foods and behaviors that fuel real liver healing. We'll examine the nutrients that support detoxification, mitochondrial energy, and inflammation control. And we'll provide a practical plan you can follow. No special supplements, no starvation, no complicated tracking, just clear, accessible guidance rooted in studies and clinical practice. If you're over 50, if you're watching your blood sugar or cholesterol, if your abdomen feels heavier these days, or if you've been told you have fatty liver or borderline liver enzymes, this information is urgent, because if you catch it early, you can reverse it. If you don't act, it may progress. But the window of opportunity doesn't close after 60. It stays open, and tonight, you can begin to step through it. Let's begin by unpacking what fatty liver really is, how it develops silently, and why food, not medication, is the fastest, most effective way to reverse it. Every day, your liver performs a staggering list of essential tasks. It cleanses your blood, produces bile to digest fats, balances hormones, stores nutrients, and regulates your metabolism. When excess fat accumulates inside liver cells, a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver, it interferes with all these critical functions. Cells become inflamed, insulin resistance worsens, energy falters. Yet what's truly remarkable is this: your liver is a regenerative organ. It heals more efficiently than almost any other part of your body. Even better, the tipping point for fat clearance is within reach far sooner than most people expect. Clinical studies have shown that with targeted changes, in particular reducing refined carbohydrates and added sugars while increasing fiber-rich anti-inflammatory foods, the liver begins to burn stored fat within 72 hours. That's 3 days. In those first days, your liver shifts from storing to mobilizing fat. As insulin levels fall and fat-burning pathways activate, that shift can produce real physiological effects: lower insulin resistance, reduced inflammation markers, improved blood flow, and clearer mental focus. Many people report stabilized blood sugar and a feeling of lightness well before any visible weight loss. So how exactly do you support that healing process? It begins with what you choose to eat, and not just what you choose to avoid. You want foods that support mitochondrial activity, nourish liver detox pathways, and help rebuild healthy gut bacteria. A simple meal plan might include dishes like steamed vegetables with small portions of fatty fish, leafy greens with fermented vegetables, and whole grain fiber with nuts. These meals help deliver nutrients like choline, glutathione, precursors, omega-3 fatty acids, and polyphenols, all of which science links to liver fat reduction. Research shows that the timing of meals also matters. For example, aligning carbohydrate intake with earlier parts of the day and reducing evening snacking helps keep insulin levels low overnight. That silent fasting period triggers autophagy, the body's natural cleanup system, and encourages liver cells to clear stored lipids. That's why people who follow time-restricted eating or a moderate overnight fast often see improved liver enzyme levels and reduced liver fat, even with minimal weight change. Another breakthrough is the role of coffee, not with sugar but plain or lightly bodied black coffee. Coffee has been consistently linked in studies to lower risk of fatty liver and slower progression towards cirrhosis. The antioxidants in coffee help reduce inflammation, stimulate bile flow, and support liver cell regeneration. Drinking a cup or two a day without added sugar can be a helpful tool for seniors who already enjoy it and sustain hydration with water the rest of the day. But it's not just food. Inflammation control plays a central role in liver recovery. Adults over 50 often have chronic low-grade inflammation driven by diet, stress, sleep disruption, and reduced gut barrier function. That inflammation exacerbates fat deposition in the liver and impairs detox pathways. Foods that support gut healing: fermented vegetables, soluble fiber, ginger, turmeric, and omega-3 fats help reduce that inflammation while improving nutrient absorption. Importantly, movement matters too, but doesn't have to be strenuous. Just walking, stretching, or gentle body weight movement after meals improves circulation to the liver, supports lymphatic drainage, and enhances insulin sensitivity. Combined with the liver-friendly meals, that movement reinforces the metabolic shift toward fat burning. Even a short walk right after lunch can make a measurable difference. Now, this 3-day phase is really about activation. It's about flipping a biochemical switch inside your liver that shifts from building fat to clearing it. After those initial days, the priority becomes sustainment, graduating into a lifestyle where liver-supportive habits become everyday habits. You still eat nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory meals, stay hydrated, move consistently, sleep deeply, and avoid added sugars and refined carbs. But now you're in maintenance mode, letting your body complete the healing process over weeks and months. Many people fear that after 60, metabolic damage is permanent, but that's not the case. Your liver's ability to clear fat remains, and while cellular repair does slow with age, it doesn't stop. By giving the system the right fuel and reducing the load on detox pathways from ultra-processed food, you give your liver the chance to rebuild its resilience. So tonight, as you prepare to rest, imagine choosing a dinner that includes steamed fish with garlic and lemon, vegetables like broccoli and spinach, a side of fermented sauerkraut or yogurt, and a tablespoon of seeds or nuts. Pair that with a full glass of water or warm herbal tea. That meal is rich in choline, antioxidants, fiber, probiotic support, and healthy fats, all activating pathways that help reduce liver fat. Tomorrow, have breakfast time restricted. Maybe a bowl of oatmeal with brewer's yeast, a small handful of nuts and berries, no added sugar. Then lunch of lean protein with leafy greens, olive oil, a splash of vinegar, and vegetables. Keep walking. Stay hydrated. Drink up to 2 cups of plain coffee. Sleep restful. Repeat meals that follow these principles for 2 more days. You don't need complicated pills or protocols. You just need smart food, clean habits, and consistency. Over time, patients who adopt this plan see not only improved liver markers, but better insulin sensitivity, lower waist circumference, clearer thinking, improved mood, and more stable energy levels. That's not hypothetical. That's me seeing results with people in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Real people living better. If you're watching this and wondering whether your liver can truly begin to heal in just 3 days, I want to reassure you, the science supports it. And even more important than the science is the fact that your body is always working to repair itself. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, you're never too old to support regeneration. It starts with simple steps, and the first 3 days are about setting that internal foundation. Let's talk about what a typical day might look like. And I'll walk you through the key choices that make a difference, because it's not about starving yourself or following complicated meal charts. It's about feeding your body what it needs to clear fat from the liver and reduce inflammation. On the morning of day 1, begin with a tall glass of room temperature water. This hydrates your liver and kidneys after a night of rest. Then, after about an hour, have a light, low-sugar breakfast. Oatmeal made with water or unsweetened almond milk is a powerful option. You can add a small handful of walnuts or flax seeds and some blueberries, one of the best fruits for liver health due to their anthocyanins, which are natural antioxidants. You're not just filling your stomach, you're feeding your gut bacteria and signaling your liver that it's time to shift into fat-burning mode. Avoid fruit juices, pastries, and cereals that come from a box. Those spike your blood sugar and overload your liver with simple sugars, the exact thing we're trying to reduce. Around mid-morning, have another glass of water or green tea. Then go for a short walk. Even 10 to 15 minutes makes a difference. When you move your body gently, your muscles begin to use up glucose in the bloodstream, which reduces the insulin burden on your liver. That helps clear out triglycerides and begins the slow process of mobilizing fat from liver cells. Lunch should be focused on fiber, protein, and healthy fats. A plate of leafy greens like spinach, kale, or arugula drizzled with extra virgin olive oil and apple cider vinegar with a portion of wild-caught fish like salmon or sardines gives your body anti-inflammatory omega-3s and B vitamins that directly assist liver enzymes in breaking down fat. You can include half a small avocado or a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds for additional healthy fats and minerals like magnesium. After lunch, take time to rest. Stress raises cortisol, and cortisol contributes to fat storage in the liver. Even quiet time reading, listening to music, or closing your eyes in a dark room helps. Then get up and move again. Another short walk after lunch improves digestion, lowers blood sugar, and helps your body shift more fully into fat-burning mode. Dinner should be light, satisfying, and eaten at least 3 hours before bedtime. Think steamed or roasted vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, or Brussels sprouts, paired with a small serving of legumes or a modest amount of lean protein like organic chicken breast or tofu. Add herbs and spices, turmeric, garlic, ginger, cilantro, all support the liver's detox enzymes. You want to avoid processed meats, sugary sauces, heavy starches like white rice or pasta, and definitely skip dessert. The goal is to keep your insulin low as you head into the overnight fast, when your liver will be most actively burning fat. Before bed, drink warm water or herbal tea like dandelion or milk thistle, both shown in clinical studies to support liver enzymes and reduce oxidative stress in liver tissue. Go to sleep by 10 p.m. if you can. The hours before midnight are when your body begins its deepest restorative processes, including cellular repair and detoxification. Now, what happens inside your body during these 3 days may not be visible on the outside, but inside your liver is changing. Fat stored inside liver cells begins to break apart. Enzymes increase that help move triglycerides out of the liver into your muscles for use as energy. Inflammatory chemicals decrease. Your insulin sensitivity begins to improve, which means your body needs less insulin to control blood sugar. This in turn reduces the vicious cycle of fat storage. People over 60 often report feeling more alert by day 2. They notice less bloating, their bowel movements improve, their appetite normalizes, not because they're eating less, but because their hunger hormones begin to rebalance. The liver plays a role in those hormones too, and when the liver starts to heal, it signals the brain more clearly. By day 3, some individuals experience their blood pressure slightly lowering or their blood sugar beginning to stabilize. These are early signs. They don't mean the liver is fully healed yet, but they do mean the process has begun. And that should give you hope. Healing continues beyond these 3 days. But what matters is that you've shifted direction. You've gone from feeding disease to feeding health. You've triggered the liver's healing pathways, and those will carry you forward day by day, week by week, toward recovery. Some ask me, Dr. Lee, do I need to do this perfectly for it to work? The answer is no. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your liver isn't judging you. It just needs the right support. If you eat one meal that isn't ideal, it's not failure. It's feedback. You can pick back up at the next meal. What matters is consistency over time, not perfection in the moment. In the next segment, I'll walk you through some specific foods to include regularly in your diet beyond the 3-day window, how to know if your liver is improving, and the subtle signs of long-term liver regeneration. I'll also explain why this approach works even if you're not losing weight quickly, and why focusing on liver health first often leads to easier weight loss later. So what happens after the first 3 days? If you've followed the guidance, supported your liver with clean hydration, fiber-rich foods, omega-3s, and gentle movement, you've already taken one of the most important steps. You've shifted the biology of your liver from defense to repair. But recovery doesn't stop there. In fact, this is where things often start to get even more interesting, because many of the benefits that people notice after 3 days start to compound over the next 1 to 3 weeks. One of the first signs that your liver is beginning to recover is that your energy starts to feel more stable. You're not getting those mid-afternoon crashes. You're not feeling foggy in the morning, and you're not craving sugar the way you used to. Why? Because the liver helps regulate blood sugar. And when it starts to offload the excess fat inside, it becomes more efficient. That means your body can access and store energy properly, without the wild swings that leave you feeling exhausted or jittery. You may also notice changes in your digestion. Many people with fatty livers struggle with bloating, constipation, or irregular bowel movements, not because the liver directly controls digestion, but because it communicates with your gut through bile acids and detox pathways. When the liver is overburdened with fat and inflammation, bile production becomes sluggish, and that slows down the entire digestive process. But as the fat content in your liver starts to fall, bile production improves. Your gut bacteria become more balanced, and digestion becomes smoother. Another subtle but powerful sign of liver recovery is clearer skin. If you're over 60, and you've noticed that your skin has become dull or your eyes look a little yellow or tired, this can often be traced back to liver overload. When the liver can't clear toxins efficiently, those byproducts build up in the bloodstream. That doesn't mean you're in danger, but it does mean your body is signaling that it needs support. As your liver begins to clear fat and inflammation, many of these compounds are processed and eliminated more effectively. The result? Your eyes become clearer. Your skin takes on a healthier glow, and your entire body begins to look more vibrant. Not because of cosmetics or supplements, but because your biology is running cleaner. Now let's go deeper into the foods you should continue beyond the initial 3-day window, because while those first 72 hours are about jump-starting the liver's recovery process, long-term regeneration requires consistent nourishment. One of the most powerful categories of food you can include are cruciferous vegetables. These include broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts, and arugula. They contain compounds called glucosinolates, which the liver uses to activate its natural detoxification enzymes. Research shows that these vegetables help the liver eliminate environmental toxins, reduce inflammation, and even protect against liver fibrosis, which is the buildup of scar tissue. Another essential group is berries, especially blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. They're rich in polyphenols and anthocyanins that act as antioxidants. These compounds reduce oxidative stress in the liver and help stabilize the tiny blood vessels that feed the liver cells. For seniors, this is especially important because circulation tends to decline with age, and healthy blood flow is essential for liver repair. Next, focus on omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. Omega-3s help reduce triglycerides, lower liver enzymes, and improve insulin sensitivity. Studies show that people who consume more omega-3s have less liver fat and slower progression of fatty liver disease. If you're not a fan of fish, you can get some benefit from flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, though they're less potent than marine sources. You should also make friends with legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas. These plant-based sources of protein are low in fat, rich in fiber, and contain compounds that support liver metabolism. Unlike red meats, which can overload the liver with saturated fat, legumes offer steady, clean energy without spiking blood sugar. If you're over 60 and worried about muscle loss, legumes also provide a source of amino acids that can help preserve lean mass when combined with light activity. Fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, and plain yogurt are also supportive. They feed the gut microbiome, which in turn reduces endotoxins that can damage the liver. Research now shows a strong link between a healthy gut and liver, what's called the gut-liver axis. When your gut bacteria are in balance, they help reduce inflammation that travels to the liver through the bloodstream. But one of the most powerful and underrated foods for liver repair is extra virgin olive oil. A study published in the Journal of Hepatology found that olive oil reduced liver fat and improved insulin resistance in people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Even just a tablespoon a day can help. It's not just the monounsaturated fats that help, it's also the polyphenols in unrefined olive oil that reduce inflammation and help turn on the liver's fat-burning genes. Now, if you're someone who's been told that weight loss is the only way to reverse fatty liver, let me give you a fresh perspective. It's true that weight loss helps, but the quality of the food you eat and the consistency of your daily habits matter just as much, if not more. In fact, many people with fatty liver can begin to reverse the condition even before they see dramatic changes on the scale. That's because you can lose fat from inside the liver without losing much body weight at all. This is especially important for seniors. As we age, weight loss can sometimes lead to muscle loss, which we want to avoid. So rather than focusing only on the scale, focus on metabolic markers. How your energy feels, how stable your blood sugar is, whether your belly bloating is improving, and whether your sleep quality is changing. These are often the earliest signs that your liver is improving, even if your weight remains the same. So what does all of this mean for you right now? It means that if you've started this journey, even if it's only been a few days, you're already changing your future. You're not waiting for a prescription or a diagnosis. You're taking control by giving your body what it's been asking for: nourishment, rest, hydration, and movement. These aren't radical changes. They're deeply human changes. And the liver, more than almost any other organ in the body, responds quickly and positively to them. In the final section of this video, I'll explain how to maintain your liver health for the long term, how often you should repeat this 3-day reset, and how to talk to your doctor about monitoring your liver health with simple blood tests. I'll also answer one of the most common questions I hear from seniors. What if my liver is already damaged? Is it too late for me to turn it around? Now let's talk about the most important question that's probably on your mind if you've been struggling with fatty liver for months or even years. What if your liver is already damaged? What if your blood tests show elevated enzymes, or you've been told you have fibrosis or cirrhosis? Is it too late? I want to be very clear about this. It is never too late to start helping your liver heal. Even if the damage is advanced, even if you've struggled for years with excess weight, diabetes, or high cholesterol, your liver still has the remarkable ability to regenerate. It may not bounce back overnight. And in cases of severe damage, it may not fully return to normal. But even in those situations, science shows you can slow the progression, reduce inflammation, and protect the healthy liver cells you still have. In fact, studies have shown that people with advanced liver disease who begin nourishing their liver by eating anti-inflammatory foods, reducing refined carbohydrates, improving hydration, Walking daily and losing even 5% of their body weight can dramatically lower their risk of future complications. This isn't wishful thinking. This is peer-reviewed, well-documented, real-world evidence. But here's what's equally important. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need a perfect diet or an expensive supplement regimen or a gym membership. You simply need to make one small, intentional change at a time and keep going. Maybe today it's adding leafy greens to your lunch. Maybe tomorrow it's cutting back on sugary drinks. Maybe the day after that, it's getting outside for a 15-minute walk. That's how liver health is rebuilt, not by crash diets or sudden overhauls, but by consistent supportive care. Many people ask me how often they should do the kind of 3-day liver reset we discussed earlier. And here's my answer. If you're just starting, try it once a month. 3 days of focused liver support, fiber-rich vegetables, water with lemon, green tea, turmeric, omega-3 rich meals, and gentle movement. Then return to your normal balanced diet. But carry forward the habits that felt good. Over time, you may find that the 3 days naturally become part of your lifestyle. That's a good thing. It means you're no longer resetting. You're rebuilding. And if you're curious how to track your progress, talk to your doctor about a simple liver panel. It includes ALT and AST, two enzymes that rise when the liver is inflamed. If your levels are high, don't panic, but use it as a guide. Begin the changes we've discussed today. Then recheck your labs in 3 to 6 months. Often you'll see those numbers come down. If you don't, work with your doctor to adjust your plan. And keep going. Liver recovery is not a straight line, but with persistence, it's possible. The same is true for your weight, your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and your blood pressure. They are all interconnected with your liver. When you support your liver, you support your entire metabolic health. That's why so many people notice improvements in energy, sleep, digestion, mood, and even their ability to lose belly fat, not because they're chasing symptoms, but because they're nourishing the root. I want to leave you with this. If you are over 60 and you've been told that aging automatically means decline, I'm here to tell you that's simply not true. Your liver is still listening. It's still responding, and it still wants to heal. The moment you begin to treat it with care, it starts working for you in return. That's what healing is. It's not about being perfect. It's about giving your body the support it needs and the time it deserves. If you've watched this video to the end, that tells me something very important. You care, you're engaged, you're ready to make a change. And that in itself is powerful, because health begins with awareness. It begins with knowledge, and it continues with action. So whether you're just starting this journey or you've been working at it for a while, I want you to know you're not alone. There are millions of people just like you, over 50, over 60, over 70, who are turning their health around not with prescriptions or procedures, but with food, movement, hydration, and belief. Belief that healing is possible. Belief that your best years can still be ahead of you. And that belief, backed by science, can become your reality. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you understand your liver better, please consider sharing it with someone you love, a spouse, a parent, a friend, who might also be struggling silently. You never know who might need to hear this message of hope. And as always, be kind to your body. It's working for you every single day, even when you don't feel it. Give it the care it needs, and it will give you back the life you deserve. Stay healthy, stay hopeful, and I'll see you in the next video.